Today, you're going to boost your English vocabulary with advanced adjectives to help you sound professional and fluent in English. Welcome back to J for English. Of course, I'm Jennifer. Now let's get started. First, I'm going to quiz you to see how well you know these adjectives, but don't worry because after I'm going to explain each one in detail and then you'll complete the quiz again. I promise seeing your result before the lesson and after the lesson, you're going to feel so proud because you've improved a lot. So let's start the quiz. Question 1, Sarah's taste in music meant her favorite genre changed every week. Now, I'm only going to give you 3 seconds to answer, which is not a long time, so hit pause, take as much time as you need, and when you're ready, hit play. Sarah's fickle taste in music. Question 2, the smell of freshly baked bread filled the bakery. Pervasive. Question 3, the conference featured scientists from around the world. Eminent. Question 4, the young boy's nature led him to ask endless questions. Inquisitive. Question 5, ChatGPT is becoming in the workplace. Ubiquitous. Question 6, from the top of the mountain, they admired the expanse of the valley. Vast. Question 7, the novel's ending left a impact on the reader. A profound impact. Question 8, she had an love of painting. Intrinsic. Question 9, safety is in the construction industry. Paramount. And finally, question 10, the fear of the dark seems to be in many young children. Inherent. So how'd you do with that quiz? Was it easy, difficult? Don't worry if it was difficult because now I'm going to explain each adjective in detail. Let's do that now. Ubiquitous. Ubiquitous. This means present, found, or appearing everywhere. For example, smartphones are ubiquitous devices. They're found everywhere. They're found in every home, every office. So we can say smartphones are ubiquitous devices in every home and office. Paramount. Paramount. When something is paramount, it means it's more important than anything else. In emergency situations, the safety of the passengers is paramount to the airline crew. So you know the safety of the passengers is important to the airline crew, but by including the adjective paramount, you know it's more important than anything else. So the safety of the passengers is more important than protecting the actual airplane. The safety of the passengers is paramount. Vast. Vast. This means a very great extent or quantity. So when I hear vast, I know that the extent is very great. For example, the Sahara Desert is a vast expanse of sand dunes. So of course I know there are sand dunes in the desert. I know there are many sand dunes. But when I hear vast, the image I have in my mind all of a sudden changes and I see sand dune after sand dune after sand dune because it's vast. Profound. Profound. This means having deep insight or understanding. For example, the professor's lecture on quantum mechanics was profound. By using this adjective, I understand that the person saying this learned a lot of very deep insights or now has a very deep understanding of the topic because it was profound. Pervasive, pervasive. This means spreading widely throughout a group or an area. Remember, we talked about how smartphones are ubiquitous. They appear everywhere. Well, as a result, we can say that social media is a pervasive part of modern society. Because smartphones are ubiquitous and social media, like the J4's English YouTube channel, is now everywhere as well. So it's pervasive. It is spread widely and spread quickly within society. Inherent. Inherent. This means existing in something as a permanent or inseparable quality or element. For example, cats have an inherent ability to land on their feet when they fall. Have you heard that before? That when a cat falls, it always lands on its feet. Well, this is an inherent quality. It's permanent within the cat. It's not separable from the cat. The cat didn't learn how to do this. It's just an inherent quality. Inquisitive. Inquisitive. This means showing a strong curiosity or willingness to learn. For example, my daughter was very inquisitive when we were at the museum. Generally, someone displays being inquisitive by asking a lot of questions. So if you're at the museum with a young child or even an adult, and they ask a lot of questions about what they're seeing. They could also be inquisitive by wanting to read all of the signs and the posters and the information about the objects that they're looking at the museum. In my opinion, being inquisitive is a very beneficial quality when you're learning, especially when you're learning a language. I love when my students ask questions, when they're inquisitive, because it shows they're really trying to understand. And when you ask questions and you get those answers, you're able to form those connections in your brain and learn faster as well. So hopefully you are inquisitive when it comes to the English language. Fickle. Fickle. That's fun to say. Fickle. This means changing frequently, especially in one's loyalties, interests, or affections. For example, the fashion industry is known for its fickle trends. Trends in the fashion industry change very quickly, very frequently. One day, it could be very fashionable to wear a sweater like this, and then next week, they say that is the ugliest sweater ever and you shouldn't wear it. So they're very fickle about what's trendy and what's not trendy. The fashion industry could also be fickle about which designers they promote and support. Maybe one day this person is the designer that everyone's talking about, but then next week nobody's talking about that person and there's a totally new designer. So the fashion industry and many other industries is very fickle. Intrinsic. Intrinsic. This means belonging naturally, and therefore it's an essential part. For example, an intrinsic motivation to succeed drives some athletes to push their limits. So they're not motivated by winning a trophy because that's an external motivation. The trophy is outside of them. They're motivated by something within, an intrinsic motivation. And just like I said that being inquisitive is important when you're learning a language, so is having an intrinsic motivation. If you're only motivated to study to pass the IELTS? Well, that's an external motivation. And although it's great to have that motivation, generally it's not enough. Generally, we also need an intrinsic motivation to really push ourselves and succeed our full potential. Eminent. Eminent. This means famous and respected within a specific profession or field. For example, she was awarded a prize for her eminent contributions to the field. The field being the area of her profession. So if she is a quantum mechanic, then that is her field. Quantum mechanics is her field. If she is a physicist, then that is her field, her area of study, interest, or profession. And here it said her eminent contributions. So it's implying that her contributions are famous or respected within that particular field, whether it be quantum mechanics or physics.
Now that you're more comfortable with these adjectives, let's do the same quiz again. Here are the questions. Hit pause, take as much time as you need, and when you're ready to see the answers, hit play. Here are the answers. Take as much time as you need to review them, and when you're ready to continue, hit play. So how'd you do? Did your score improve from the first time to the second time? Share both your scores in the comments to motivate and inspire other students to see how much they can improve in this lesson. And if you enjoyed this lesson, if you enjoyed being quizzed, then put more quizzes in the comments. Put more quizzes so I know you want me to make more lessons just like this. And of course, make sure you like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you're notified every time I post a new lesson. And you can get this free speaking guide where I share 6 tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently. You can click here to download it or look for the link in the description. And you can keep improving your English with this lesson right now.